Hello everyone guys, and in today's video I'll show you how to play the Ruy Lopez or the Spanish game, Spanish defense. So it's very common opening, very popular, and a lot of players on the levels play it. So it goes e4, black responds with e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, protecting the pawn. Now here if you play bishop c4 it will be the Italian game, and if you are tired of this opening, so you can play bishop b5, which is the Ruy Lopez opening and also known as the Spanish defense. So the main idea is to attack this knight and to leave this pawn unprotected and to go for a quick castling on the king side. So here are a lot of options for black. So black can play a6. Now you have two variants, main variants. So go bishop a4 and after, let's say, b5, and after something like this, both sides get a pretty solid position. And now let's go in a6. Also you can take. If black takes with this pawn, then it's not a good move, and here you can just take the pawn or castle. So black should always take with this pawn to open the queen and open the bishop. So let's say now you can't immediately take, because if knight takes to e5, then after queen d4, knight goes away and black wins back the pawn, and it's just a drawish position. So after exchanging you just play castling, and then bishop g4 will be the best move. You attack, and then you get a position that looks something like this, and from here you start to develop, and it's a solid game as well. Here also the pawn is already unprotected, and now we can take it. Let's say black plays a5, let's say we can just take the pawn, and now queen d4 isn't working because you can take the pawn, because the queen will be skewered. So another move to protect the pawn will be f6, which is not that good. Here you just can play d4 or develop the pieces, and this pawn is unuseful here. That will be one variation. Also second variation to play bishop d6. Here if white can play d4, if black takes, here you need to be very careful, because I start attacking this pawn. Now f6 is a weak move, but knight f6 goes into this. By the way, don't try this, because I can just take with the king and black lost a piece because the queen is protected. Like this, then white loses the queen. So there are a lot of variations, so we'll just remove them and focus on the main ones. So let's say in this position, the bishop d6, d4, black can play bishop g4, and after e5 just must take and get a similar position. Now you can play c3 and just play normally as well. Also very interesting position. So let's go back to this position. So here black can defend the knight to prevent double pawns. Here you can just take and castle normally, and from here play normally. That's very good. Here also very common variant is to play knight to f6, and a lot of grandmasters play this. It's called the Berlin defense. So here you just can castle, and let's say knight e4, you exchange all this, then attack the knight. Knight moves away, something like this, and these games often lead to quick draws because the players exchange all the pieces. So this is one variation. Other variations are d6. After d6 you can just play d4 and transform into the Scotch opening, or you can just castle and play normally. And other moves are bishop c5, also setting a trap. Let's say taking. If you here take the knight, then queen d4 would lose your piece, or at least it will be black is here much better. So you don't want to play like this, because of the knight f6, let's say white is undeveloped and black is kind of better. So other moves that can happen in this position Also, knight to d4 is an interesting move. I suggest you just take, and after this castle play normally, because there are some players that play like this, variations like this, but it's very strange and I don't suggest to play like this. Okay, so we basically covered most of the stuff, so I'll just show you one last trap. So let's say a6, and now look, castling, bishop goes to g4, h3 attacking the bishop, and now look, black plays h5, setting a trap. If you now take the bishop, then after this, you see your knight is attacked, and let's say you remove the knight, then you just get mated very fast, because as you can see, queen to h4, and you can't really stop the mating, because I'm threatening mate both on h2 and both on h1. So let's say this is mate. So in this position, black is there is here a draw line, but you need to be very careful and to play equal. So let's see what the computer suggests us. Yes, so the computer suggests just sacrifice your knight and play normal, and it's just an exchange, but here black has a very strong open line, so don't go into these traps. So basically we just covered the entire Spanish defense in 5-6 minutes. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and please subscribe to my channel and tell me in the comments which openings and which traps you want me to discuss in our next video. And thank you so much for watching this beautiful